Hello everybody, welcome to Also Rusty Bucket. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already and drop a like on this video. I'm trying to hit 100k subscribers on this channel by the end of the year, so your subscription would be much appreciated. Did I say drop a like? I don't know, do it as well. There's a reason YouTubers ask you to drop likes on videos. It massively affects the performance, so if you could drop a like, I would appreciate that as well. Last video I did was one of a series I'm going to be doing, going over the main big NBA awards. The first one was the MVP discussion, which just got out of the way as soon as possible. This one is going over the Rookie of the Year conversation. Now, I have to say right out of the gate, with any talk that comes with prospect guys who haven't really seen the NBA floor yet, take everything I say with a grain of salt. This is by far going to be my loosest pick for the award, even though from the discussions I've seen elsewhere, it seems like the top couple of guys are pretty unanimous. It's going to be one of them. But I don't know much about these guys as much as I should to give a solid pick or anything like that. But I know enough, I think, to have a rough idea of their game. And then, of course, I know the situation of their teams. So, with that said, here's what I think of. Really, I'm just going to look at the lottery guys, because if someone outside of the lottery ends up winning Rookie of the Year, that will be surprising. It very rarely ends up happening, though it's not unheard of. Of course, Malcolm Brogdon did it as a second-round pick not too long ago. I think it was like 5 years ago, but, you know, whatever. But that said, I'm just mostly looking at the lottery, and specifically the guys who I know towards the top of the lottery, because, like, I don't know much about Chris Duarte, I think is how you say that name. But just going down the draft order, Cade Cunningham of the Pistons. This is, of course, really the top three picks are the easiest guys to choose from. Cade Cunningham is an interesting case. I watched almost all of these guys in the summer league to some extent or another, but Cade, he struggled a little bit, which is not the biggest surprise in the world. That kind of always happens, adjusting to a new type of game. But I could see him having some growing pains initially. There's also some weird stuff with him and Killian Hayes in the backcourt. Even if I do think that can work, it might not work initially. But at the same time, I also think that if Cade ends up being really good out of the gate, I think the Pistons can be a play-in team, so the success that he would bring to that team out of his rookie year might get him that award. Jalen Green is somebody that was like the slotted-in top three pick that I knew nothing about before the draft. I knew a lot about Cade, and I knew a lot about Evan Mobley. I knew very little about Jalen Green. When I watched Jalen Green in the Summer League, he quickly became one of my favorite young players, because he is just an absolute bucket. He is extremely athletic, and he has a good feel for getting his shot up, three ball, mid-range, whatever, mostly three ball though. But like, he's definitely got all the tools to be one of the best scorers in the league. The thing about that, though, in Houston is just that Kevin Porter Jr. as well as Christian Wood are going to be getting a lot of shots. Luckily, John Wall is out of the picture, so you don't have to worry about him. But there might not be as much shot opportunity. That said, I do think he's going to be getting plenty of opportunity. And if Cade ends up struggling a little bit in his rookie year, then I feel like Jalen Green has the best shot to be really good out of the gate. But I don't know. I'm not, again, take all this stuff with a grain of salt. Jalen Green just feels like he's going to be good immediately, and Cade might have some growing pains, even if I think Cade is going to be the best of the two players. Then we get down to Evan Mobley for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He struggled with his scoring in the Summer League, but he really showed his defensive chops. His scoring overall, like, he has a jumper, but it's not, like, great. And he has moves in the paint, but they weren't really working that much. So I'm not sure where to put him in terms of like putting up points and stuff like that. But rebounding should be fine, and his defensive impact should be fine. But in terms of winning this award, being an impactful defensive player, I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of awards where that just kind of goes under the radar. And I think that might be the case where if he's not the best offensive player his rookie year, if that's the case, his defense will not really carry him if there are other guys in here like Jalen or Cade who are good offensive players. Scotty Barnes seems like a Swiss Army knife type of player who will do the little things here or there. There is a lot of forward stuff going on in Toronto. There's some people who have been projecting Pascal Siakam to start at center so that Scotty Barnes can start. I don't know how I feel about that one. Granted, their starting center option is Khem Birch, or Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher is pretty good, but on the smaller side by comparison. So I guess that might be a thing. But either way, Scotty Barnes, I don't expect him to put up a whole lot of points. He might have good defensive impact, but as mentioned with Evan Mobley, they're going to give the scoring players are going to win this award more likely than not. Historically, that tends to be how it goes. Magic, or not Magic Johnson. The Magic selected Jalen Suggs. I think this is the easiest, this guy is the one who has the most opportunity by comparison to where he was picked. Of course, the top 3 picks are going to get plenty of opportunity, but Jalen Suggs with the Magic, the only concern might be how much shots he gets versus Cole Anthony or Markelle Fultz. I don't know what the timeline on Markelle Fultz's injury is. I'm pretty sure he's going to be injured coming into the year, but I don't know how long that'll last. Jalen Suggs should have plenty of opportunity in Orlando. He is a pretty capable scorer, and I think he'll get a lot of opportunity there. And that could be the case where he is just the guy who puts up a lot of points. Meanwhile, maybe Cade struggles a little bit. Maybe Jalen isn't getting as many shots as you might expect. And Evan Mobley is more of a defensive guy. Scotty Barnes is more of a defensive guy. And maybe Jalen Suggs sneaks his way into that conversation through that. Then we get to Josh Giddey of the Thunder, who is one of the most interesting players out of this draft class to me, at least among the names that I know, because he is I don't know how to describe it. He's just an interesting player. He's a tall point guard with a lot of creating ability for others. His own shot creating ability, people are a little hesitant on, and his outside jump shot is a little questionable, but he's a big guard who can play make, and those we all know have some pretty good value, especially if he can figure out the shooting. That said, I don't know if he's going to be, I think it might take Josh Giddey a few years to be as good as he has the potential to be. I think he might be a little slow coming out of the gate, and then he figures it out. Again, all this stuff is rough estimates. And then the Warriors with Jonathan Kuminga. Kuminga looked really good in the Summer League, but him as well as Moses Moody, I just don't know if they're going to have enough opportunity in Golden State. In fact, I'm pretty certain they won't have enough opportunity. Even if both of them are great in the opportunity they do get, that's going to be overshadowed by Cade, who's going to have a green light, Jalen Green, who's going to have a green light, Jalen Suggs, who's going to have a green light, Evan Mobley is going to have a green light. So that's really going to be the case. Franz Wagner is someone that I know very little about. I don't know if it's Wagner or Wagner. I think it is. Is it Wagner? I don't remember. If I remember correctly, he's a shooter. Let me actually, I don't actually know anything about him. Is a big wing with versatile game who's improvement. I don't know anything about the guy. So I'm just going to move over him. If he ends up winning it, then it's from ignorance. Davion Mitchell's a really good defensive player, but he's also a guard in Sacramento. I didn't really understand that draft pick, not because Davion Mitchell might not be good, because I think he can be. He showed a lot of interesting shot creating ability in the Summer League, but in what world is he getting enough opportunity with De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton there? It's just not going to happen. The Pelicans with Zaire Williams, I just don't know that he'll get enough opportunity because the Grizzlies are going to be trying to win, and from what I understand, he's a little bit rawer of a prospect, and I just don't think he'll have the opportunity. James Bouknight, the Hornets have a lot of perimeter play, bordering on too much, so I don't know that he's going to get a lot of opportunity his rookie year. I don't know anything about anything about Joshua Primo or Chris Duarte. So that's all I'm going to say that's all I'm going to look at in terms of this draft. I don't think there's anybody else on the outside that I've seen a lot of people saying will really be that great, at least in their rookie year. I know there's the guy, the point guard that the Hawks took, Sharif Cooper, but I wouldn't think he'd get enough opportunity. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the lottery guys, the ones that I know enough, some about anyways. If I'm making a pick right now, I'm probably leaning towards Jalen Green. After Jalen, I'd go Cade. And then maybe Jalen Suggs, just because he's going to shoot more and I think be more of a scorer than Evan Mobley or Scotty Barnes. But Evan Mobley could just be great offensively out of the gate, and I'm underselling him just based on a couple of Summer League games, which is very within the realm of possibility. Again, I don't know a crazy lot about these guys, but I just think the opportunity is one of the biggest factors in Rookie of the Year, and the Pistons and the Rockets and the Magic are providing plenty of opportunity to their 3 picks. So I'm going to go ahead and say those are my top 3 guys to win the award, and I'd probably lean towards Jalen Green winning it. But this is going to be one of those videos where I actually look at what the comment section has to say, because there's a lot of you guys who probably know more about these prospects than I. And when I end up making the video predicting who will win the award, I'd like to get some input on that for this one in particular, because it's the one that I know the least about the players that are contending for it. So anyways, that is the end of this video. Goodbye.